On behalf of the Indian American Public Affairs Council, it is my honor to welcome you to the 25th anniversary, which is a huge feat. Round of applause for that. So amazing. My name is Rashi Vats, and I am an evening anchor at Fox 26. It's the Fox affiliate here in Houston, Texas. Locally, you know, whatever feelings you have about Fox, sometimes people give me like weird eyes and stuff. It's just the local level is different, folks, so fire is a fire. I'm so thrilled to be here, not just because I got out of doing the evening news, but also because I'm very passionate about mental health, the mental health crisis, and through the work that I've done through the years of being a journalist, I've spoken with so many people who have been affected by mental health, whether it be someone who has lost someone to suicide or someone who is dealing with it, become advocates for it. And really the common denominator and thread through it all is the fact that this is preventable. People need help. There is help out there. And the more public discourse we have, the better this issue can be solved and something that can be fixed. And the American Psychological Association estimates that more than half with mental illness don't get help because of the stigma around it. And events like this help with destigmatizing mental health. So I'm so glad everyone is here, and I'm so glad that I was able to speak with some of our speakers that are here today earlier on Fox, which you can download the free Fox Local app, which is available on your smart TV and phone, and see what we talked about. It was a great conversation. Actually, it's going to be on our 5 o'clock news. I'm not sure what time it is right now, but it should have already been on. So I'm very excited, and tonight we celebrate not only our community's accomplishments, but also the power of dialogue, unity, and civic engagement. And before we begin our program, please do rise for the national anthems of the United States, followed by India. We have Sharon Thind, who is a senior at Houston's High School for Performing and Visual Arts, who will present the national anthem.
Thank you to Dr. Rupa Gir and the Indian American Public Affairs Council.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Jana Gana Mana Adinayak Jaya Hai, Bharat Bhagya Vidhata, Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha, Dravid Utkal Banga, Vindhya Himachal Yamuna Ganga, Jaya, 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 Jaya Hai.
Now it is my privilege to introduce a truly dynamic leader, Rupa Gir. Rupa has been at the forefront of championing civic engagement within our community, and tonight she will be sharing with us some insights into the remarkable journey of IAPAC and the impact it continues to make. So please join me in introducing and welcoming Rupa Gir to the stage.
Thank you. Good evening, distinguished guests, honorees, and members of the community. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to this annual IAPAC Gala. Tonight is a moment of celebration, reflection, and inspiration as we come together to address one of the most pressing issues of our time, the mental health crisis in America. So before I go into that, I'd like to tell you a little bit about IAPAC and how it has evolved over the years. So it started out, I think, in the late 60s and 70s, where there were less than 100 people of Indian origin in the Houston area. And as the community continued to grow, so by the, 90s, the vision took shape, and it formed the Indian American Political Action Committee, which is focused on advocating for our community's political, social, and cultural interests. Now, as you can see, there's political element to it as well as civic engagement and educational. So what has now happened, has evolved, is that the civic engagement aspect of IAPAC is now under the umbrella of Indian American Public Affairs Council. So I'll refer to this going forward as the council. And the council is a dynamic organization that empowers the community, fosters meaningful dialogue, and drives the civic engagement in our community. So there are several initiatives under this council. If I have to broadly categorize them, the first one is conversations over coffee. So the idea is that instead of you're going to an event somewhere to listen to somebody, that event comes to you in your neighborhood. So conversations of coffee are small, intimate gatherings that are held across all the different communities in the greater Houston area, whether it is the Woodlands or Missouri City or Piney Point or the city of Bel Air, Stafford, so on, Pearland as well. So we've held multiple such events on understanding the US judicial system, Election 101, understanding the state of the city, where is it going forward, and how can the community get engaged. So these are all the different topics under this one category. The other one is dealing with issues that are of concern to the community. In that case, we invite the lawmakers along with the community members in that community so there can be an exchange of ideas and dialogue so that there can be a meaningful, impactful legislation that could be passed. And the last part of it is basically a kind of gratitude with global cultures and religions, where we build network with the broader Houston community. And you would have noticed today in this hall here, we have people from all across the world. Obviously that reflects Houston, but this is where our Indian American community is able to extend its arms and get to know all the other communities as well. So now, coming to the mental health, which is our this evening's theme, this is the one that touches everyone's life. So I would say no one is spared from this, however important you are or however less important. It affects everybody in our community. And as rates of anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges continue to rise, there is a need to destigmatize these conversations and develop real solutions and that has become more urgent than ever. So mental health is not just a personal matter to an individual's, a family or an individual himself or herself. It is a societal challenge that requires a collective action. So together, I believe through our dialogue tonight, we hope to spark awareness, compassion, commitment to address the crisis, and make mental health well-being a shared priority for all. And now I think I'd like to acknowledge the eminent guest speakers at today's event. So we have our keynote speaker is Dr. Rahul Gupta. He's the director of the National Drug Control Policy at the White House. He unfortunately had an emergency, some travel issues, and he could not make it. However, he has sent his keynote speech to us just in the last few days. The other is our own mayor, who's our guest of honor, John Whitmire. He has also sent his message, and we'll get to hear that. The other honorees that are here this evening, I would like to recognize Senator Manka Dhingra, Dr. Wayne Young, and Stephen Glazier. These are our three panelists who are in a session that is called Dialogue with Changemakers. We also want to recognize the honorees for this evening, and we have Mr. Ashok Mago, Padma Shri awardee, Senator Dhingra, who has passed a lot of legislation in this arena, in this field, and finally, but not the least, our very own Sonal Shah from Houston, who is the CEO of the Texas Tribune, who has contributed a lot in journalism. We'll hear more about that later. And then this is our time to recognize the three founders of IAPAC, and these are Jagat Kamdar, Randhir Sani, and the late Rao Ratnala. And we will be talking more about them later on, but these are the visionaries who actually had the initial concept of having an organization such as IAPAC in Houston. I think they all deserve a big round of applause. What do you say? Thank you. So your presence tonight is a testament to some shared commitment to building a better, healthier future for our communities. And here I'd like to thank our sponsors, as well as the IAPAC team members, without whom really this would not have been made possible. So I'm just going to quickly list the various sponsors. So first is at the platinum level, the Bloom Foundation and the Caravelli Capital and Ventures. Under the gold, we have Shobhana Kamdar MD, Dr. Shobhana Kamdar and Jagat Kamdar, Sunila and Randhir Sani, Viva by Vaishali, I Educate, the Jain Vishwabharati, Janardhan Thakur, and Mridula Sutaria. So again, thank you all to our gold sponsors. And yeah. And under our silver sponsors, we have Material Solutions International, Ekal Abhiyan, Samskriti, Test Masters, Anuja Mehta, Frank Uverno, Seva International. Again, thank you to all. And now I hand it over for our program to begin. We're back to Rashi. You're here? Great. Thank you.
All right, now how Rupa was saying, we have a special message from the Honorable John Whitmire, Mayor of Houston, who couldn't be with us in person tonight, but wanted to share his thoughts on video.
Good evening, I'm John Whitmire. I'm proud to be the mayor of this great city. Let me just say, I wish I could be with you tonight, but I have a conflict, and I must let you know, I would be there if I could, because I wanted to let you know how close I want to work with AIPAC. AIPAC represents the Indo-American community like no other organization. So let's stay in touch. 2025 is an important year. We've got to do more for the homeless. We've got to address mental health and really quality of life issues for everyone in Houston. But the Indo-American Public Affairs Council is going to be my partner. You need to be my ears and eyes and let me know what I can do to improve our community. We have a great city with great people, and the Indo-American community is so special. So many of our city institutions are led and governed by the Indo-American community. So let's have fun tonight. I'm working hard, and this 2025, let's let it be the best year that Houston and the Indo-American community has ever had. So thank you, and have a safe evening. Goodbye.
All right, thank you to Mayor Whitmire there. Now, we also want to highlight two of our esteemed sponsors. I know that Rupa mentioned several of them. First, I want to welcome Vaishali Dev, her husband Prakash Dev, and Sami Khalik, Marty Knownmaker from the Bloom Foundation, and they have been a platinum sponsor, basically an underwriter for the event, so please do come up to the stage. I think it's for a picture.
Well, good evening, everyone. And we are both so happy to be here tonight with all of you, sharing this wonderful evening. I'm proud to say that we're honored to be a sponsor for tonight's event on behalf of the Bloom Foundation. The Bloom Foundation is a philanthropic organization that bridges the gap between aspiration and access to healthier and more resilient communities. At the Bloom Foundation, we believe that everyone should have the opportunity to thrive. That's why we invest in forward-thinking, community-driven initiatives that tackle health, education, and workforce challenges from the ground up. By combining grants, strategic partnerships, and hands-on support, we're helping individuals gain the tools, knowledge, and resources they need to reach their full potential. Together with our partners, we seek to build a brighter future, one where every child can learn, every adult can earn, and every community can flourish. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Now I would like to call CEO O'Neill Crurup from Caravali Capital and Ventures.
Well, thank you, everyone. My name is O'Neill Crurup. I represent Caravali Capital. We're a privately held company that invests, operates, and manages healthcare, real estate, and hospitality business. Mental issue, we deal with that all day long on the home health and hospice companies we own. We've been in business since 2015 and seen over 6,000 patients, Houston surrounding area. So that is very close and dear to us. And just wanted to quickly say thank you for having us, and congratulations on a successful event.
All right, wonderful. Now we are going to take a short break, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes to continue the program.